Knock, knock, pink ponies, bitch!
Hi everyone, so welcome to the first of the weekly Derp Squad Debrief podcast. So yeah.
Oh wait, what? Sorry, no.
What are we doing?
I wiped it away.
So
Mine
yeah.
disappeared. Mine was startled.
Look at that, guys.
Pennywise the dog clown.
So yeah. Should we get going?
Topics.
All right.
Topics. So I believe the first topic was the game Contagion.
Lol, Contagion. Still waiting
Still
for our
waiting.
early access codes.
So for anyone that doesn't know, Contagion is a zombie survival game. Basically, was on Kickstarter. It's just finished its Kickstarter. It reached its goal. People who pledged are getting keys to it. And believe it or not, if you paid a certain amount, you got your name in the credits. So our friend's mother is in the credits. But there's this quite cool feature of it that I quite like, and it's the fact that you can you can get messed up by other players, because what they'll do is they'll like ring your cell phone and you answer it. This is in the trailer. You answer your cell phone, and then they come up to you, and because you've got your cell phone, you're like defenseless, and they'll shoot you. But I'm not sure how that's meant to work, because I thought it was like a co-op survival game, so your friends wouldn't, would they?
It depends though. That was versus mode, and because of their apparent detailed sound system, which I don't have any doubts in, they, like you said, they send you messages, and you have to be careful because you could get shanked.
I'm assuming the messages could be randomly generated, so that some of them could actually tell you locations of things, so that you did have to look at it. Like, there's always a temptation to look at it, but there's always the risk that you could get killed from it.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
And then there's always some sort of asshole in the back with a sniper.
I found it funny how the trailer, it kills the guy in the toilets.
It's toilet humor.
Why is my webcam fuzzy?
I don't know, why is it? Focus it.
Sorry, the recording stopped for a second there. Fraps decided to crash, but Toby, what are you looking forward to the most out of Contagion?
I don't know. I don't know too much about the game. I don't know if it's like you can build anything or not, but I think if you can't, then I'm most looking forward to hopefully some good sniping.
Well, I know you can build like defenses if you have like a hammer.
What I've seen of it though, to me, it's gonna be like 7 Days to Die. I'm gonna play it, and I'm gonna be like, yeah, this is a cool concept, and then I'm gonna get bored of it.
I think it's going to be a lot better, because it had like $50,000 in Kickstarter.
Yeah, I know
it
had
85,000.
Yeah, I'm talking like
87 actually.
This was like a week before it was going to come out. So
yeah, but everyone loves this early access crap. To me, it just ruins the entirety of the game, because I play it and then I can never stop thinking about how it used to be. And then realise all the crap they've added in. When a game's released in full, you have it how it's meant to be. You don't get any crap, you got nothing. This is why I don't like 7 Days to Die, it's not finished. This is why I don't like Payday 2, because it's not finished. I don't like the idea of me getting a game if it's not finished.
Battlefield's still not finished.
Well, actually, speaking of Battlefield, I know we're moving on to a completely different topic here, but in the beta, which I think it's just closed today,
Battlefield's beta is closed.
I think it is now. I think it's finished.
It makes sense.
Comes out at the end of the month anyway. You know all those like buildings that have...
Why close the beta when you could have it keep going while you're still screwing around with it?
It's 4 days. That's all it was. That was the idea. Anyway, all those skyscrapers that are around, they're making every single window destroyable, no matter the distance, no matter on all the skyscrapers and all the buildings, every bit of glass is going to be destructible. And also, you know, when the building falls over, in the beta it was just kind of like, oh, it's a bit of dust, you know. In the full game, apparently it's going to make a giant wave, and if you're on a fucking jet ski, you're going to do a backflip. So I think
to me, it just means like one huge big scam to get a lot of money.
Yeah, I guess. I just accidentally opened the wrong thing. You had to use the sound effects, didn't you?
Well, of course. Because they all want money.
So very well timed.
They just want money. Yeah. No, but what is your opinion on early access games? Like, I can't stand them.
My opinion is that I really like the concept of early access games, but I think it'd be more suitable if it was. I don't think they should actually buy the game, because then people are just spending money pointlessly. Really, because I mean, if they want to see people before the game's actually finished, if they want people to see the game, sorry, before it's actually finished, then they could just release a demo or something. Either that or do what
Personally, I don't like the idea of early access, but I like the idea of a finished game that's going to be constantly updated and taking the customer's feedback to like upgrade it, similar to how like Minecraft is now, except Minecraft is just dead for me because I've played it since like 1.3, 1.2 or something.
The thing is, with early access games, it gives the developers more of a chance to put more content in earlier, so then by the time it's got to the real game, there's nothing else really to add, because everything that people want to add will be in it, which is also kind of a bummer, which is where you're coming from.
I don't understand the idea of early access games. Yes, you pay a slightly lower price, but unless that's a game like you really love, like for me, Audio Surf, as soon as Audio Surf 2 came out, I was just like, boom, done. Because Audio Surf 1, I love it. But the fact is, I'm actually a bit pissed off that they released that early. Because all there is this thing called wakeboard mode. The graphics aren't finished. They should have released it in a state where they were taking customers' feedback and updating it. Why didn't they just wait another like half a year and release it? Because they could do. When games come out in early access, they seem to take all the money and then update really slow instead of working on it every single day to get their product perfect.
But when you think about it, most of these games have, for example, because all the games that we're currently playing at the moment are all like indie games and stuff, and most of them are only made in like teams of 5 to 10. So the thing is like with most games that are still in development and that are releasing in early access, people are expecting more of them, but it's not doing well for the developer, because there's only like 5 to 10 people in the development group, and people are just complaining and pushing them. It's not good for them, really.
It's like
you see where I'm coming from.
Yeah, I know, but am I the only one that feels like as soon as like something comes out in early access, they kind of get lazy with it and they're not working on it as much as they should. They're just like lazily updating it when they feel like it, if that makes sense.
Either that or the updates are just so damn big that they have to do something about it.
I don't know.
7 Days to Die, they've actually got updates out. It's just the issue of when I try to download patches, it'll take me to an AOL page of some sort, and then it doesn't want to give me my patch for 2 days. And then when I finally get it, the game's broken, so I backdate. And I've been on Alpha 1, I think it is, for the past...
We're on 1.0, and then it's on 1.2 now, because what they did is they uploaded 1.1, and then they did a security fix, which was 1.2.
And there was 1.1a, wasn't there?
It's 1.1a, and then I think there's 1.2a. The A only stands... No, yeah, there's 1.1, and then there's 1.1a. 1.1a is the one where they added security features. 1.1 is when it was the proper update.
So, I didn't hear about 7 Days to Die in the early access, and I've heard about Contagion in the early access. So far in the footage, it seems like a good game.
Yeah.
But I'm
I
just
think
not sure.
Contagion at the moment now is probably. Oh, we moved the effect. Is probably one of the best early access game trailers. It's probably one of the best early access games I've seen so far. Personally for me, because it seems with a lot of early access games now, they're releasing it far before it's actually finished, or to be actually released, which kind of what happened with World War Z, or whatever the hell that's called now.
Oh, don't get me started on that.
That was terrible. Such a bad game.
I'm pretty sure Steam gave everybody refunds. Like,
No, they
they gave
didn't.
everybody refunds.
No.
It was, but it was a complete. It was a complete waste of money.
Well, what happened
They
was...
gave a bunch of people refunds. I'm sorry, they gave a bunch of people refunds, and then you know Morgan Lewis.
Yeah.
He went out and bought the game after they gave him refunds, and he said he hated the game. And I told him, well, that's what you get for buying a game that everybody got refunds for.
I believe they didn't get refunds for it. What happened was they actually took it off the Steam marketplace, because what it was so terrible. It was so bad. Like, the game was in. Have you ever played the development version of Minecraft when it first came out? It's essentially the state it was in. You would die randomly. There was just no point in it, and Steam actually said this is in an unplayable state. This isn't early access. This is on a whole new level. This is
unplayable.
1.0 dev is what it was. It was the original dev version, and in the end they had to change the name because I mean it was false advertised as well, which is the main reason it got took down. The pictures were nothing to do with the game.
They spruced up the pictures and the game spots that the pictures were taken in to make.
That's kind of like what they did with Call of Duty Ghosts at the Xbox reveal. What they did is they showed what's called pre-rendered footage, and they actually added in a lot more effects and like lighting shafts and everything like that won't be in the official game because the new Xbox and PS4 won't be able to handle them properly. It'll be able to do it, but just not properly. And what it was pre-rendered footage with fake anti-aliasing settings on it, which is ridiculous.
The only problem is people will fanboy over it and be like, "Oh, yeah, but consoles are so much better than PC," and blah 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 blah. Well, it's just an entirely different debate, but still. COD noobs, COD fanboys or fangirls, as I call them, whether they're whatever gender they are, they just fanboy over it. Because they don't care about the graphics, it's all about the gameplay to them. I mean, for me personally, I prefer gameplay to graphics, but graphics still play a really important role to me.
The thing is about graphics, it's kind of like, you know Battlefield 4? Can't stand that game.
Yeah.
I hate the look of it. Graphics are just broken.
It looks kind of like, it looks like somebody just spray painted something.
Yeah, it's like it's been downgraded. It's almost a bit cartoony at times, especially the water. Like the water looks amazing. The hands, the water, the animations for when you parachute. Animations are beautiful. The problem is it looks cartoony. Like it's really just cheesy because like the parachute pulls and then his legs and everything just jerk forward and you can see it, and it's made to look cinematic. Like it's just
Andrew and I we can't even launch the game anymore.
No,
it just gives us an error.
I think that might be because the beta's closed though.
No, it was when it was open.
Right.
It was when they came out with the open beta, and we couldn't even launch the game. We couldn't even play it. It was unplayable. It would literally, you would start it and it would come up with an error.
Really? It's not good.
Shows how to.
It is a beta. You got to give it a chance. The thing is, the thing is about betas is that's the beta. That essentially.
What is close to being released?
Yeah, that's just before it's going to be released, and they said that the only thing that they're adding is a few tweaks to the graphics settings to make it run better. I think is what they said, and then they're making the terrain destructible, like certain parts of it that they haven't done yet, and working on the water, and that's about it. So your webcam.
We were talking about 7 days to die.
Yeah, I had to turn it off.
You were talking about 7 days to die. I mean, 7 days to die, even though you said you hate early access games, 7 days to die is in pre-alpha, and that's probably closer to being finished
Yeah.
than any of them.
It's true.
even though it's in like
pre-alpha.
I like the concept of a Kickstarter like pre-release game sort of thing. It's just that sometimes they put it on way too early. It needs a lot of tweaking before they put it on Kickstarter usually. And when they don't do that, it's really a big disappointment. It's just a lot of lead up
let the
to
people
nothing.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They let
Yeah.
the people down.
So shall we move on to the topic of what we've been playing before we go on to the gun one?
Yeah, sure.
So I guess we'll go from left to right. Alex, what have you been playing this week?
Oh, not a lot really. I mean, if I've spent,
Doesn't matter if it's console.
I spent a lot of time on GTA Online, to be honest, which is
finally
outstanding.
fixed that?
Good.
Yeah. It wasn't a
They
server
have-
problem. It wasn't a server problem. What it was is the game was not ready for it, and the patches weren't in place, so it wasn't it connected to the servers every now and then, but it wasn't connecting to them properly. It wasn't the fact that they didn't have enough servers. They still got the exact same amount of servers, except an update came out for it, and what it does, it tweaked with the network settings a bit.
Yeah, it patched up the game surprisingly quickly, actually, because I think the game came out here in the UK on a Tuesday, and on the online came out on a Tuesday, and they had it patched by the Thursday following, which was pretty quickly, to be honest.
Not bad.
It's not bad.
GTA, I did play it.
For Rockstar.
I played it at James's, and my opinion is people are making a really big deal about it. It's a really good game. The campaign and the story is amazing. If you actually just play that game at the end of it and don't go through the campaign, you will realize how much it's like Red Dead Redemption. It feels exactly like Red Dead.
It is a lot.
The costume.
It's I think it's just Red Dead in a GTA game.
I think it's the Red Dead engine with different lighting. Like that's basically what I feel like.
I'll
Like I think
probably
LA Noire looked better if it had like some anti-aliasing and some like DirectX settings on it. Like
I think that's the
The,
biggest. That's the biggest problem with GTA that people are having at the moment. There's no anti-aliasing. There's
can't
no big
complain.
deal. It's still a good.
It's
just.
the thing
It's
about
still
it,
a good game.
Yeah, the thing about it is the revamping all the settings for PS4, Xbox One, and supposedly PC. There's a lot of people saying that when it comes out for the new consoles, it will be on par for PCs, and that's why they didn't release it and all this bullshit. It's Rockstar. Don't trust them.
Exactly. I don't. It annoys me when people say, "Oh, I mean, I'm as much for PC gaming as any of you guys because I'd prefer PC gaming. It's just what I prefer." But people who own a PC and fanboy over PCs, pretty much like us, but not the extent to say, "Oh, this game shouldn't be on console. It should be on PC," is ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
I have no problem with consoles, believe it or not.
Exactly.
I have a problem with the fact that most people that buy a console are quite young. Well, I mean, you know, look at me. I'm quite young. You're quite young. But to the point that they don't really understand computers and understand all this stuff, and they're not doing GCSEs and don't have a working mind of logic, you know. And what it is the fact that they don't understand.
How is baby formed?
There's not. You don't have to say that you prefer. You could say, I prefer Xbox to PC. It's what I like playing on. But you cannot deny the fact that a PC is more powerful than any console will ever be and is currently.
This is what I struggle to explain to Joseph, because Joseph is so much of an Xbox fanboy that he literally has led himself to believe that the Xbox is better than a PC or more powerful
I have no
than a
problem.
PC.
I mean, I can understand why people love going on consoles. Consoles, they're made for
They're
gaming.
fabulous.
Computers. You're fabulous.
Multimedia.
But like PCs have been adapted over the years to be that, like, you know.
Multimedia mega titan.
Yeah. But It's just I have a problem with the people on there because they won't acknowledge the fact that a PC is more powerful. Doesn't matter that it is more powerful. It's just because you know you could prefer playing on something else. You have to admit the fact that no matter what you say, a computer is more powerful. It's more diverse. You can do more on it, and that was never going to change in the history of consoles.
Exactly. You can't say that. And you can't really say a console's more powerful than a PC when that said game for the console was developed on a PC.
I know, it's ridiculous. It did annoy me a bit.
PC.
You like PC?
I like PC because I can use any mic. I've got like 3 or 4 mics in this freaking cabinet right now. I've got headphones on top, behind, and to the right of me. And then I've got headphones on. I can use any pair of headphones I want. I'm not limited.
Wires.
Like jacks or.
Mine are all neatly bunched behind my computer.
I've got my fair share of neatly cleaned up wires.
I don't. Mine are all everywhere.
There's my wallet.
This is the extent to what I have around wires. It's just this. I'm gonna cover up the name so we don't get like copyright sued or something.
What's the name?
Flashed it.
What does it what does it rhyme with?
Orange.
No. Fad. I'll just flash it again.
Right.
To the left.
I have no idea what that is anyway. Am I okay to talk about what I was playing then?
Sure.
Start off first game. I've been playing quite a few games this week. I've been playing quite a bit of War Thunder because I'm almost at level 7 for my Russian tier. But
Derp Bush Squad.
War Thunder's. I thought it was a really good game. I love it, but it's got to the point that I can only play it for like 2 matches now.
Then it just
gets lasts 20 to 30 minutes, depending on what you play.
Well, no, I don't play historical. I just prefer arcade just because I'm not good enough to play historical. I admit it. I'm just not good enough. I'm not careful enough. I don't use my joystick, which is fucking an expensive thing, but I just don't use it. You know.
Yeah, the story behind the joysticks. It's hilarious. We'll tell it someday.
Someday. When my hair isn't so bright and dark at the same time.
When we're old and wise like the owls perched on the branch outside the bleak tree in the bleak winter's morning.
Shut the fuck up. But I've also been playing some. I had a quick go on Audio Surf 2. Not impressed.
Why? I thought you loved Audio Surf.
Audio Surf 1, I play it on the hardest. I've like been in the top in the world before. But it's just the point of that. It's not. Do you want to know what they released it as?
What?
You can add your own music in. The leaderboards are bugged, and there's one game mode. That game mode is called Wakeboard. All you can do is do jumps when the music does certain like dips. You go like this. You go shake mouse that way. You do a jump. That's it. All the game is right now. And this is just going back. And this is just going back to that thing about the fact that early access games, they shouldn't be a thing.
Oh, they should. But I don't think they should pay for it. I think they should just release it as a demo, not pay for it.
I suppose the dev versions, but when it starts to go into beta, I can understand. But like when it's an alpha, that shit should be free. You should not be making money off something.
Wasn't Minecraft free for a bit?
For a while. I think it was like really early alpha. It was free. Really early. I might have been before alpha. But anyway, the people that signed up their accounts back then have got it free now. They still got them now.
I would have registered like 12 accounts if I had known that Minecraft was going to be this big.
Yeah, I know.
He was like, hey friend, do you want an account? It's called 2.
It's called
There you go.
You could have actually named it Jim. You could have just done like a list of loads of just like popular names, just like Jared
Jim,
and
John,
Alex and Lewis and Toby and Luke and Macy, and then you just had accounts for everyone with their just normal name. Would have been
That'd
fabulous.
be fabulous.
Toby,
I could have called one mommy, or put like the boob emoticon thingy, like you do the brackets and the periods.
I
and
know
then
it's
the-
not in real life stuff time, but can I just tell a story about today?
Sure.
I get
Boobs
the feeling
reminded-
this is one of.
It's not as bad as you think it's going to be. So, my English class, we had to write down stereotypical characteristics of a woman. Like, I wrote boobs in an A4 piece of paper, and so I went, right, stereotypical characteristics of a woman. Lewis, go. Stop, that would be. Lewis, go. And I held up my page and went, boobs! And he went, Lewis, that's a feature, not a characteristic. And then
What are
he
you
went, and then he
doing,
went,
Toby?
and then he went, choose another one, and I went, human sandwich dispenser.
Ridiculous.
So Toby, what have you been playing this week?
Let me open up my Steam list. I played some OA.
Yeah, I played some of that, but very little.
I would like to say I played Company of Heroes, but I didn't this week. I played that last week. Let's see. I played War Thunder, I think. 7 Days to Die. I played some Killing Floor with you, I believe it was, one night.
I've got that downloaded now.
We can
I
record
played-
after this if you'd like.
Just
I played 20 minutes of Battlefield, and then my dad came in and was like, Battlefield? I want to play. So I got up and, here, Dad, here's my headphones.
Just started to
And
cry.
then I went to bed.
You just started to cry as you gave them. Just like, you just like giving the headphones.
It's funny. My dad is, I believe he's 44, and he's better at Battlefield than me in tanks. Being a team
In a-
player,
in a tank,
I'm better
yes.
at that.
Yeah, he's better in
Yeah.
a tank, but you could snipe at him. Your dad's problem is that he doesn't. Cause I'm assuming when he was in the military, he was never anything to do with tanks.
He's still in the
Well,
military.
yeah, I know he is, but you know, like when he was actually out there, like, you know,
They were escorted by tanks.
but he wasn't actually a
they
tank
were,
driver or a gunner. Or
He
anything.
wasn't a tank driver.
You can
no.
tell because what he does is he knows the strategy. Like he'll get up in like tactical places, but like, right, we're gonna take some of these guys out. But then what he'll do is he'll shoot, and he won't calculate the drop, and he goes, "Did I hit him?" And I went, "Nope, you're about a good 800 meters off." And he's just like, I was like, aim a bit higher, so he just goes like, bend a bit higher, and he goes, "Did I hit him?" "Nope, you're about 799 meters off."
See,
But
he doesn't.
really
He doesn't
fun to play
understand
with.
that these
He's really
are.
fun to play with. Like,
He says Battlefield's one of those things you can get into, and since it's a game, you don't have to pay that $1,200 for a Sabo round, and you don't have to climb in and out of the tank and everything, which you can actually buy tanks in America with the proper permits, and he could actually go out in a freaking Abrams if he wanted to. Right? I don't know if you could get an Abrams. You can get a Sherman. I know that. He could mail order a Sherman to our door. It would show up, and he could hop in it and drive it down the street, take it to the DMV and license it, get it, get his name on the title and everything, and he's ready to go.
customized
But-
number plate.
Yeah. It would say boobs on the back of
No,
it.
it wouldn't. It would be, I like guns.
Jesus.
As long as he
I like
doesn't
guns and Jesus.
as long as he doesn't accidentally move to the gunner seat and pull the trigger, then
no,
he's fine.
They disable the gun.
Not
They
the
cut
point.
the gun block in
so
half.
easily though.
Not the point.
You can't weld that gun block back together. You'd have to get one specially made, and then it's like thousands of dollars, and then
The
if
fact
they
is,
catch
though,
you getting
it's
it,
worth it because you have a fucking tank. Zombie apocalypse comes, you'll be rolling down that motherfucking street like a boss. Fresher than a popsicle.
Well, if you carry on moving anyway, then I don't suppose the zombies would be able to cling on unless they're. I'm talking about George Romero zombies here, in the fact that they're slow-moving, shambling pieces of dead shit.
Yeah.
We do jack
I
all.
don't even understand. Like, they could have just, like, gone into their houses, closed the door, and then the zombies would be like, eh. Like, George Romero zombies are fucking pathetic.
But he
Yeah,
did make
but
the
they-
modern zombie.
Yeah.
I mean,
He influenced not only the modern zombie, but his zombies actually had surprising power. And Lewis is being professional.
well, as one of our videos are called, because we're so
We're
professional.
Totally professional.
Shut the fuck up.
Should we move on to our next topic then?
Yes, I believe the next topic is everyone's gonna see the fucking notepad, I believe. Gun laws. If you want to do gun laws, so we can do the zombie plan. It's up to you.
We'll save the zombie plan for last, I
Right.
think. Or the next one. I don't know.
I believe we're about halfway through right now after this.
So, if you don't know about the gun laws in America, I haven't researched this too much, but from what I understand, basically, California made magazines over 10 rounds illegal. You can no longer use lead ammunition if it even has a small molecule of lead in it. I believe you get in trouble, huge trouble, if you go hunting with it. You can do target shooting with lead ammunition. You can do everything with lead ammunition, but they're afraid that if lead ends up in the animal and you eat it, you can get lead poisoning. Truth is, it'll harm your body, but it's not going to do that much to you unless you're a very small child. The worst way to get lead poisoning, or the most common, is around like a soldering iron, around a lead melting pot. The fumes of lead, they'll kill you pretty quick.
Thing is about lead, it's poisonous. It's obvious, but you could eat a decent amount of lead without dying, because when you eat lead, when it passes through your digestive system, it doesn't get into your blood particularly much. You get a small amount in it, and if that's a decent amount that you've eaten, you'll feel a bit shit. Like, it's quite difficult to actually kill yourself from eating lead, because enough of it doesn't get into your bloodstream to harm you.
You're worse off drinking bleach.
It's probably hard to get.
I like your style.
Oh yeah.
That was a terrible joke. I apologize.
I don't. Right. Threw the phone at you. How do you feel? I'm surprised
That
it-
hurt.
I'm surprised it didn't shatter.
You hit the baby. That's why it's rocking, you poop.
Don't rock the baby. Rock the baby, baby.
Another ridiculous thing is they're trying to ban the same cartridge I use in my Mosin Nagant. For obvious reasons. Everybody's got quarter-inch thick steel plates, and they all shoot at them with lead core ammunition. I mean, you know, because they want to die.
It's the South.
Yeah, it's the South. No, this one lady, I forget who she is. She may be a politician of some sort. She's trying to ban the 7.60 by 54R round because, one, it's not NATO. Two, everybody hates on Russian, you know.
I'm very
Firearms
sorry.
and-
I'm very sorry if I'm trying to sound stereotypical or sexist in any way, but just a woman to try and ban some sort
She
of
doesn't.
gun.
She doesn't like the big bullets. You see, she didn't get enough at home.
Oh,
Mm.
that was
It-
terrible.
It's not even
That
that
was
big
terrible.
of a bullet. It's not even that big of a bullet. Like,
It's just an
It-
AK size, isn't it?
it's
Just a
bigger.
bit bigger. Just a
It's
bit
a
bigger.
little
isn't
bit
it?
bigger. It's 20. No, it's not 10.
It's
Yeah,
fired with a lot
it's-
more power, I believe. Though.
It's 24 millimeters bigger.
The recoil must be huge with that.
Is your Mosin
Or not
straight pull?
millimeters.
Is it a normal bolt? Is it a straight pull?
You pull it from the side up and
Yeah.
then back, and then you push it forward and then
And
back
then
down.
down.
I don't know if that means straight pull or not, but
No, a straight pull is literally you just push it back like that, and it just pops the bullet out, and then I believe it's spring, so it'll just pop back in the bolt. My
I like this.
My air rifle's just the same. I know I'm comparing it to an air rifle, but it's the fact that I've got a really expensive one that's modelled after weapons. So what it is
Yeah.
pull it, and you know, you have to pull it up, pull it back, pull it like that, and it puts a new bullet in. Because I got this thing for it where Because most air rifles are single shot in the UK. Like, you can't, and you have to reload. You got to put a bullet in every time. It's a pain in the ass. I've got you know how a revolver works? Like, it clicks round. I bought one of them. So what it does is, I pull the bolt back. It clicks round. I push in, and what it does, it just loads a new pellet in. It's awesome.
Nice.
But because I'm British, I'm not like a gun person particularly. But I find it ridiculous the fact that they're trying to ban guns. I mean, UK, yes, because everyone's just chavs, so they were just going out and
They'll walk up to anybody and be like, "Drop your wallet. I'm gonna pop a cap in your ass."
I shall put a cap in that button. I'm just having a vision of shoving someone like a handgun up someone's ass.
You what, mate? You're gonna fucking call me a twat? Look, this is a fucking gat. I'll fucking shoot you with it.
Yeah, mate.
It's funny because if I were to walk around with my gun, people would look at me and be like, "Why are you carrying a flagpole?" Seriously. Is that a scope on it? Is that so you can like gauge how, big the flag is and how far away it is and everything? Is it seriously that big of a deal?
With your bayonet on the end. Like a flagpole.
Oh my god, Toby, video idea.
What?
You buy an actual fucking pig, put it to a giant 2x4.
No. I could buy a side of pig, but I do have a video idea. I'm gonna get this webcam, put it out the window next to me, take the Kodak PlaySport, and do stick it to my forehead, and I'm gonna run at the pumpkin with the bayonet on my rifle and stab the pumpkin and carve it with the freaking bayonet.
Happy Halloween.
That is Happy Halloween, bitches.
And then in a couple weeks when I do the Pinkie Pie Party Popper, you'll know what that means here in a couple weeks when I get everything set up for it.
That sounds like you're just popping a little girl's cherry. It's terrible.
Whoa, come on, Lewis. Come on.
Cherry Sunday.
Wow. Oh god.
Anyway, whipped cream and everything. No.
Are you having a bit of strawberry sauce on that? Hyman joke. Right.
Say hi to the internet.
Hey.
It's funny because she said she would watch this later. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, in a couple weeks I'll take it and then I'll shoot it, and then we'll see how big the exit hole is when I'm done with it.
This is getting like even more of a fucking Sunday, right?
I guess that's it for gun talk.
Yeah, so next eels. Does he stand alone?
Is it bad that I'm not actually looking forward to DayZ Standalone because the way they're too ambitious. They're adding too much, and I think it's gonna be buggy. I think it's gonna be really buggy.
It's not stable.
Yeah, no, it's not. The thing is, even the Arma 3 engine, the more you add to it, the worse it gets. Same with Arma 2. People are like, oh, but it's this game, and like Bohemia is working with them and all this shit. The fact of the matter is, they're using their engine and they're adding crap to it. It's a mod. It's a mod that has been licensed by Bohemia to be sold separately. That's
As a game.
Yeah. And Bohemia are getting a percentage of the money. They're being way too ambitious. It's not going to be stable because they're not using their own engine. They don't know how to edit the engine to make it do what they want it to do. It's Arma 3. And the difference is they've added a couple of, it's normal DayZ, except they've added a bit of animations this time. Like they've done the animations properly, and that's about it. And
there's also a couple of other
more features, of course. Like there's no doubt about it. Teaspoon.
There's the spray can thing, the spray can bomb, the radio thing.
Radios were actually in the game a long time ago.
I mean like music radio that like actually has ambient sound that like
Mm.
the further you get away, the sound goes away and all that crap.
Yeah, but that's just part of the Arma
But the
3
thing
engine.
is, Dean, that there are two sides of the argument to what Dean is doing at the moment. One of the bad things being that he's focusing too much on trying to add more features instead of perfect and stabilize what he's already added.
He's already said that the stuff that they've got, they're already happy with it, and then they want to
only thing-
stabilize it, but
yeah.
they don't. They just keep adding shit that nobody needs yet. You know?
They need
According to Dave, I'm thinking of Evil Viking. I'm sorry. According to Dean's last dev blog, the only thing he wants to do now is add a network bubble instead of like previous Arma games occupying massive amounts of CPU usage.
It's a network bubble.
Yeah, a network bubble.
What is that?
It's where it's like it only loads like a certain area, so it doesn't take up as much CPU usage.
Alright, so essentially you're not having to because
essentially
in
you're
normal
not
armor, everything isn't actually loaded, but it's loaded to an extent. So like the textures are really low in areas that you're not in. Yeah.
Essentially, it'll be like you're only getting. So if you get a grid, you're only getting updates from one square, for example. Whereas in Arma 2 Daisy, you were getting updates from, like, if you were in Electro, you'd be receiving updates from the server that you were getting people looting or opening the hangar, the fire station doors
So
up in the.
what you're saying is a lot of stuff is handled network side instead of client side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're also. He said something about the servers as well, but I can't remember what he said about the servers.
He did at one point. I'm sure at one point he said he wanted it to be on one massive server. And then
No,
I
he
think
said he
changed his
wouldn't.
mind.
No, he didn't say one massive server. He said a few of their own servers, which could apparently handle it, which is a lie.
I highly doubt that. Highly doubt.
Anyway, that's the bad side of the Dean argument. The good side being that he's trying extremely hard to try and get this game released as much as possible. Well, people are too busy focusing on the negatives to think, hey, I appreciate that he's putting all this time and effort and not most, but quite a lot of his time into Daisy Standalone.
He's putting in.
No matter what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's getting paid for it though. Like that is his job. Like when you get paid, let's say I get paid to drive a dump truck. I'm gonna spend like 9 hours a day driving a friggin' dump truck, right? I'm getting paid to do that. That's my job. Like, it's not like he has an option to say, I'm not getting paid for this. Screw this. I'm
It's
good.
his own project. Why would he be paid to be doing his own
Because
project?
Bohemia's giving him money. I believe Bohemia's giving him money in exchange for a certain amount of the profit that they make. So he's
Yeah,
they
actually
at
hired
the
him.
moment, yeah, the Arma and DayZ are actually interlinked by Bohemia Interactive because he's back with Bohemia Interactive, if that makes sense. So I believe he did do some work on Arma 3. Not 100%, but I'm pretty sure he did. And there's definitely some people from Bohemia Interactive working on Daisy Standalone, which should make the engine stuff a bit better and make it a bit more stable. But I'm not having high hopes. I'm not getting my hopes up just because it's Daisy. You know.
They need to make Daisy, the regular Daisy. The only reason I would be excited for Standalone is if they fixed Daisy as it is right now. Because as is, this computer I'm using right now is pretty powerful. It's I guess on the medium to high end of gaming PCs.
I suppose
And
that your CPU is and just because you got this graphics card in SLI, they seem to be able to handle more than what my computer can, because my computer's its limitation is its processor, which needs changing to a bulldozer like you've got.
Yeah, but as of right now, I'm running it on fair graphics just to keep it from crashing, because I get 30 frames right now on like high graphics, trying to make everything look good when I'm recording DayZ and everything, and it's not really working. Like it lags and it has lag spikes, but some of that's the server, but I usually play on American servers or servers with good ping, or at least I try to, and it still runs like crap.
What's really annoyed me is the fact that at E3 they were demonstrating it, and they were using an i7. I believe they're using 690s and SLI. When people were going into Cherno and when they were going into Electra, it was just like Arma 2. You get random lag spikes. You can't handle the cities, and it's ridiculous that you can't.
I usually handle the cities just fine unless a helicopter has crashed and knocked over a building.
Your frames will go down no matter what, and the cities in DayZ, no matter who you are, you will notice lag spikes every now and then. I'm fine in the cities, but for some reason there's certain places where if I turn a corner, I'll suddenly drop to 15 frames, and then I'll go to the next street and I'll be on like 120 frames. The Arma engine itself, but then on normal Arma 2, I'm running the thing on the highest graphics at 200 frames a second, which is mental.
I'm gonna go ahead and throw out there that I find it amusing how you guys think 30 frames is a low frames per second.
It is.
It is.
For you.
The Xbox runs 60 FPS. Oh, well.
No, it doesn't.
It usually does, doesn't it?
No, it doesn't. It's locked 30. This is the PS3.
Wow.
Thing is, if you won't know this, but you know the wired controller that I've got. I can play a game at 30 frames a second, no problem. Controllers are the main reason why they exist is to handle lag, because you can play 30 frames a second without noticing a damn thing with a controller.
PCs aren't made to handle lag, or the keyboard mouse isn't made to handle lag,
Well,
is
it's
it?
because it's so accurate. And
yeah,
you can turn around so much quicker. You can do everything so much quicker to the point that it will put your computer under more stress. You turn around pretty damn slow with the controller, and it's the fact that you've got a bit more stability instead of accuracy. Like the mouse is for accuracy, the controller is more stable.
I wonder if you could come out with a mix
I've always thought
between.
this, but
Like, could you come up with something where while playing on the PC, like your thumb handled the joystick or something, and when you clicked it down, it was spacebar for jump or something. I don't know, but when you've got like a little joystick on your mouse or something, I don't know. Should we go on to the zombie plan? I think we've exhausted the DayZ talk.
yeah, I don't even know where that talk went. It kind of like strayed off somewhere. Anyway,
We were talking about lag and stuff.
oh god. Yeah. So, what I thought we could do for I believe this is the last section. Let me just check. Yeah, we're not gonna do movies and tech because there's not much interesting around at the moment. So,
Apart from the new Hobbit film.
I suppose we'll talk about stuff like that next week though, because we haven't done much research on it. So,
Good point.
for the last part, I wanted us to all have a discussion. Oh well, this is Toby's idea really. To all have a discussion about what we would do in the case of a zombie apocalypse if the option of suicide was taken away. Like, you wanted to survive, you had a motive to survive all this shit, and we assumed that your family was dead in this instance. So your family was dead, but it wasn't because of zombies. You weren't wanting to kill yourself because it happened a long time ago. You've been alone your whole life. What do you do to survive? What would your plan be? Scenario is that we start, you're in your house, zombie apocalypse breaks out, news of it. What do you do? Toby.
Now, my idea for this was that we would be older in the rental house that I've explained in the past. Like
Right.
we all live together, doing the channel or whatever, just working, chilling in the house. I don't know if Alex would want to come to America for that.
Oh, hell
Alex?
yeah.
All right,
I'm
all right,
I'm moving at 19, hopefully.
all right.
No, I want to stay. I want to do a couple of more years of education just to make sure I get the job I want.
I do, but I'm doing it though. So I'm gonna do. Sorry about cutting you off here. I'm gonna
That's cool.
do sixth form, assuming that I'm still with Gemma, which I hope I am. Wait until she's finished and then move at 19, and do 1 year of college during that time that she's finishing sixth form.
So that was my idea. Everybody agree that that's the plan?
Alright,
Like
so
that's how we
that's the
start?
scenario. We're all together. We're in an apartment
we're all
in
together.
the US somewhere.
Assuming you and Gemma are still together, you can have her along or not have her along. Which would you rather have?
I'm just gonna pretend Gemma's not in this because it would just make it a lot more difficult and it make my
Alright.
decision so much more complex.
Alright.
My
So-
idea was kind of interesting as to where to go for supplies, according
Okay,
to Toby.
Yeah,
Mine
let's just
mine
save
was
that.
rather
Let's just
interesting.
let's just save that and see what Toby would do first, okay?
So assuming we're all together, assuming I've not run out of money and had to sell some guns or anything, so since our families are dead, Lewis, you said,
We're
I
all
would
very
probably
unlucky orphans.
yeah, I probably would have inherited my father's pistol and maybe my mother's. I'm not sure. My mother probably would have given it to my sister.
She does have a shotgun.
But
though.
assuming that everybody's dead, sisters, brothers, everything, I've got all the guns.
Right.
So I'd hand out guns. I'll take, my
Pistol.
Mosin, obviously. Well, that's all that we've got now. After I take the Mosin, that's the only rifle I've got
Look,
at the moment.
I'm British. All I
So-
need is a knife to cause mass terror. Whoa.
All right,
I'm
Lewis,
fine
I'll
with
give
a
you my.
pistol.
Lewis, you've got a survival knife and
Actually-
a Beretta 92 FS, and then Alex, you've got.
I'll have a guitar. I'll have a guitar because
We've got
I'm
like
Spanish.
6 of those in the basement.
Because I'm Spanish, I will smack them around the head with it,
All right, we've got 6.
and then play. I'll play it and then smash them around the head with it.
I've got a pretty heavy duty like electric guitar downstairs that I
Oh,
got for
hell
Christmas
yeah.
a few years ago.
Oh hell yeah!
Shouldn't be too heavy. So Alex wants a guitar. Lewis, looks like you've got pistols then. I'll take a 9mm, I guess. So
And the
my
Mosin.
plan, and the Mosin.
So you'd
The
be
plan
staying
is-
back, would be the idea, probably.
The plan for me would be, while Alex goes to do his thing,
Which we'll explain later.
which we'll explain later. Lewis, you and I would go, I don't know, looking for car parts to store up and food. Well, actually, wait, Alex is on the food thing. We'll look for better food. So, my idea for this would be to basically go to where my dad, in this case, used to have worked, and pick up a deuce and a half and load that thing down with as many MREs, ammo cans of 9mm, 45, whatever we can get, and get a few 55-gallon oil drums, maybe 4 or 5, and pick up one of the. Good lord, it's about the size of this cabinet. Give me 1 second.
So unnecessary.
So this
You fucking look all the way up there. That's awful.
is my place that I spend a lot of time. It's not very well lit, and I'm not really, knowing how this works. Okay. So this is my perspective right now. I have to look up at that angle towards these guys. It's ridiculous. But about the size of this computer cabinet is a generator at the armory where my dad works. There's several of these, so I'm thinking if we take one of these, we've got more than enough power for anything we would want to do. A rave party, anything. Assuming we can
What powers the generator though?
gas. So that's the only issue. See, or actually, wait, it might be diesel. So we could run around to all the old like Burger Kings and crap in my area, and get vegetable oil, strain it, and take care of these. I actually know the guys that maintain the generators there. So these are well maintained generators. But I would go get one of them, take the oil drums filled with diesel and stuff, and we'd go back to my house, and there's a camper out back. stick this thing in the boat and piggyback the boat to the trailer, and then take the trailer and I don't know which truck should I take? Lewis, Alex, which truck should I take? A 1947 Chevy or a 1976 F-150? And it's a Ford.
76.
Well, the thing is, the 47, ironically, is in better repair. My only problem is the 47's engine is older. It doesn't have as much power, but it does have a flatbed on it, so we could construct a little shack on it. It's got plenty of room to put guns and stuff. We could armor it up a bit easier. It's already steel. It's like an inch of steel on any side. I don't know. I think I'd take the 76 because it could haul all that. We could take off the boat to the lake and drop that off. And anytime we needed to be on the lake, we could be on the lake. And just take the camper up where my grandparents used to live.
Actually. Lake.
Where my grandparents used to live, there's turkeys. There's deer. Hey, sister. What used to be at Nana and Papa's house? Everything. Okay, so like deer, turkeys. There used to be lizards, pheasants.
I hit a pheasant with a car.
Everything.
Once. It was hilarious.
What?
We hit a pheasant in the car once. It was hilarious. We started laughing.
There's just birds and deer and everything. So go there and go hunting and stuff, and go back to the place to get Alex, and then I think we'd be set for a bit. We could eat MREs and dog treats, and
spoil it now.
I
have to.
I didn't say where you were going. Walmart. Where?
Good point. Good point.
Okay. Who else? Anybody got any problems with that? Like, anybody got any ideas of what would be wrong with that plan?
Nothing wrong. It's just I assume that there's certain ways where you could maximize production of getting food, maximize safety from where you set up, everything like that.
I'm just talking like basic, get food, get gas, get your generator, your power, everything. Boom.
First thing I would do personally is zombie apocalypse started. We know this, so what we do is get all the guns, do this, whatever. One person goes to the shop, like we said, goes and gets some food. I won't spoil where it is, just for you, Alex. I promise. And what we do is, I think the best thing starting to do would be getting the camper van, then getting the 76 or the whatever, the Chevy or whatever.
1947 Chevy.
Yeah. And then where your grandparents live, I'm assuming this is since it's deer and everything, it's in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Well, it's like, I believe it's 20 acres of mountain area. So it's 2 city blocks just to get up the driveway, and then you've got to deal with getting in the gigantic, immensely thick wooden doors, and you have to get past brick and not brick, stone in the basement, well, you have to get past stone and cinder block and concrete, and it's just a big hassle. And there's 5 houses on that land, which that land has been sold now. So assuming that those people are dead, we could just take that land. I mean,
if not, I'll kill them, so it's fine. Anyway,
yeah.
I'm assuming it's quite hidden to an extent.
Yeah. We could knock over a couple trees and block off the road.
Yeah.
I know a couple of back roads on that land.
So essentially, assuming that this place is pretty much off the grid as long as we're quiet.
Yep.
We go up and we set the camper van up. What we do is we get everything sorted in the camper van. We kill the people in the house if they're there. Take all the food, move that into the camper van. That's now hidden. We can leave the camper van for a while, and we can take the Chevy. We could station Toby somewhere with the Mosin to keep lookout, not necessarily to kill someone, but to to keep lookout. And this is the task where it would be, like you said, the military stuff. What I'm thinking is though, you would definitely have to keep lookout, because you know damn well if you go to that armory, people that work there have got the same idea.
Well, I mean, in the event of a zombie apocalypse, they're gonna go get those rifles. Like the military will be called in at some point, so they're gonna go there and get the rifles, and then they're gonna leave. There's not gonna be anybody there because all their hands are on deck. The way my dad explains it, basically, he's part of the personnel organizing. He said when they do something called USRs, I forget what it stands for, but it's basically like taking inventory on their soldiers. Who's hurt? Why are they hurt? Can they work? Can they not work? If they can, what can they do? If they can't, then we'll figure something out. So, judging by that list, having my dad's manifesto thingies within a couple of years of this happening, I could tell within 2 years who's there and who's not there, and most of the guys there are like 40 to 50 to. I think a couple of them are like almost 60.
Right.
So having that information's good. But they're going to be there and out in no time with the rifles and most of the ammo. But
But anyway,
I can't say the contents of the safe that's there. But I've been in there and it's a lot of stuff.
But idea would be, just in case, you would look over, you'd overwatch. At this point, I would have hoped that we would have had some sort of radio. Everyone's got walkie-talkies every now, just in places, whatever.
We have CBs, I think, in the basement somewhere.
Yeah.
And if not, there'll be several two-way radios, big military setups, 50, 60-pound things that are just sitting in a room somewhere.
We would go and we'd pick up the scraps. And hopefully have found this generator that you were talking about. Hopefully found some gas or something. Camper vans are fucking awesome. They've got like gas hobs, stuff like that inside them. Propane. You can create propane fires. Everything that you need. And then we could basically just live off the fact that we have weapons. Hopefully by this point we would have had some sort of military gear that was left. I'm assuming that all military gear would not have gone from there. So I'm talking clothing wise. We would be decently camoed. Hopefully by this point we would have gotten a bit bandity, if that makes sense, and we would have hopefully got a couple of weapons. Hopefully some people's food, whatever. And we would have to just Shaun of the Dead reference here. Wait until it all blew over, essentially. We would have to keep getting supplies and hoping the fact that we could survive. If we tried to keep off the grid, we only went into town when we needed to. We kept Overwatch all the time. Always had our walkie-talkies on us. And we just tried to keep off the grid, basically.
I think if cell towers were up, I know a shop that sells some, they're basically solar panels that go in your pocket, and then you plug a USB drive into it. Like you plug a little USB thing for your iPhone or something into it. You pop a little, there you go. We break into a cell store, register the phone real quick, boom. We've got basically infinite solar power ready to go for our phones. We have 2 phones each, while one's charging, we've got the other. They're both basically the same number, I guess. I don't know how you would do that, but
yeah,
I'm sure it's possible.
So, Alex, your turn.
Alright, what I would do, as what Toby says is kind of interesting, is what I would do is I'm sorry,
So funny
Jesus.
he's dying.
I'm dying. Oh Jesus, I'm infected.
This is a very great
He's
idea.
infected.
Oh no, kill him. Where's my gun? I'll be right back.
I'm infected.
Inception
What
is coming.
What I would do is, instead of being the total cliche dipshit of going, I go to the general store to get whatever I want, I would go to the pet shop. Yes, I'd go to the pet shop to, yes, I'll eat crickets. No. No, that's a good idea actually.
For fuck's sake.
They are edible.
Shut up, you're putting me off now. I'd go to the pet shop and get as much food there as possible. Because even though it might taste horrible, cat food, dog food, whatever, it's still got all the stuff we eat in it. It's just it just tastes different. I'm not saying I've ever
Suited
tried
for
it before.
dogs' palates.
Exactly.
We'd have fucking
But
diarrhea all day, every day.
if you're trying to survive, then you're not gonna care what you're gonna eat. You're just gonna eat.
Mm.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter whether it's dog food or not. But then you'll have a lot more chance because nobody's gonna go to a pet store because nobody wants to eat. It's human nature not to want dog food because they'll be repulsed by it.
And the thing is, it's big bags, you know.
They're huge.
And I mean, they're gonna be buying them in bulk, aren't they, to save costs? So you're gonna have a good supply there.
Mm.
Yeah, and we got that. We got the flatbed on the 47. I suppose if we wanted to, we could take the 76 and the 47 and have the 76 just armor it up and then go into town with it, and then the
Yeah.
47, that would be our, like, all right, this is safe. Come here and get our crap, and then we'll go.
Yeah, I was thinking having two cars would be good. One, they can break down, and two, if it's stored away, it makes no difference, does it?
Yeah, the 76, that thing's, like, basically at this point made to store away. The 76 has been in the front yard without being started before for a year and a half, just not starting it. And then Dad came home and from Iraq, and he's like, "Okay, we got to go do some stuff." Started the thing right up. It went. He put a couple of shots of what was it? Carburetor fluid or something in it, and then turned the key again. Boom, started right up. Perfect. Another thing, though, for the plan, I think it would be wise to not only go to the military place for their hardware, but to what?
What's that, pussycat?
Wow,
Yeah. But go to the police station, which is much more local in this town, so a lot of people would go for it. But at this point, we'd have military gear and hopefully some body armor. That matches up perfectly. But at the place where I'm talking about, the armory, I'm not gonna say exactly where in what town or whatever. But the generators, they've got like 12 of these, ranging in size from the smaller ones to the larger ones. So we can have a smaller, medium-sized one at each of the 5 houses that were on that or are on that property, or have one big one that we keep in the main house and then say screw all the other houses.
My opinion is that all curtains closed and candlelight, or small powered things and only one light on at a time, is the best, because you do not want to be starting up a generator and then just making a shit ton of noise, because I mean that's just not a good idea.
Well, the generators, the basement is virtually soundproof. My grandfather could be working in the basement on any sort of wood, didn't matter what it was, sander or whatever, and you couldn't hear it upstairs. You couldn't hear it. Well, you could sometimes hear it depending on if he was using a skill saw or a rotary saw, whatever it was. You could occasionally hear it, but most of the time you couldn't hear it outside. I believe it was almost 100% of the time you could not hear it whatsoever outside. So I think a generator of the large size would be fine in there. If it wouldn't be... If it wouldn't be, then we would just get the mattresses out of the 4 other houses and prop those against the walls. Could go to a mattress store or something and get a bunch of mattresses, and then we could dampen the sound that
I just
way.
want to know why the goggles get bigger when I do this.
I was doing that like half an and that's a huge 30 seconds ago. There's that anyway. I'm gonna just I really want to do one thing before we wrap this up and leave. I just want to do one thing. Give me a second.
Look at this.
Right then, I think that's a wrap, guys.
Alright.
Keep going about talking about zombies all day, but yeah.
Well done,
We'll
guys.
see if we can come up with something like ridiculous next weekend to talk about. Like, what if there was a nuclear apocalypse and we somehow magically survived it as ghouls?
Hopefully
That's the next topic.
Hopefully there's no child
Surviving.
abuse like references in the next one. And Sundays with cream and also. It's not good.
Speaking of cream, look at this.
How many
Cream
little girls have you been
cake.
raping today?
Logos.
I said little girls, not logos.
Oh, I thought you said.
I was gonna say logos. I've got a logo right here.
Top
Boom.
Gear. Yes.
We don't own any of these. You should pay us for advertising.
Google
Keypad.
endorsement.
Oh, I'm a hipster pirate.
Keyboard.
Anyway, let's wrap this up now, guys.
Anyway, yes. Thank you for watching the first podcast. We should be back next week. Hopefully, it should be up on a Friday next week instead of whenever I upload this. So yeah. So from all of us here at Derp Squad, have a nice day, and I'll see you next time.